Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife Kara is at work, and today we are doing the review on the Matt Christensen KnifeWorks Misfit. What a awesome name, right? This knife was loaned to us by Ryan, also known as Spirited Blades, aka Spirited Whiskey. Thank you, brother. Can't wait till we meet up again. And yeah, let's get into this amazing piece. So first off, this is a custom piece, and the steel on it is CTS XHP. There's a bunch of zirconium and micarta and titanium on this piece. We will get into all of that here in just 1 second. The total length on this thing is 8 inches with a 3.5-inch blade. So the Hogue Ritter or the Benchmade Griptilian is a great size comparison. They are pretty much exactly the same. Here is the Koenig Arius, which is a tiny bit bigger, a little bit bigger. And then here's another knife a lot of people know, the Benchmade 940-1, which they are pretty comparable in length also. All right, let's get into this amazing knife. So I did sharpen it, and it is CTS XHP, like I said, and it's got like an acid drip finish. I'm sorry, I meant acid rubbed finish. Acid rubbed finish, which looks really cool. You can tell it's hand rubbed. And this is a knife that Ryan uses, and you can see his love marks on there, which I love to see. Yeah, the detent on this thing is incredible. The sounds that this thing makes is also incredible. I might insert a clip where I can get the sounds to really show, but let's see if we can get it right here. If not, I'll insert a clip. There it goes. You can kind of hear it goes chink, and then on the close you can hear the detent. It has like a strong acoustic, and then on the open it goes chink. But it's a real enjoyable sound. Real like I don't know how to explain, kind of a chingy sound. You can really hear the vibration from the clip, and just the detent smacking and the lockup. Nice strong lockup. All right, let's get into this thing. So, OD green micarta, if we can get to come up with a zirconium underlay. So we have titanium liners. Okay, so it's titanium liner lock, and then in between the titanium and the OD green micarta, we have a zirconium underlay or inlay, whatever you want to call it, and then the holes are drilled through the micarta to expose the zirconium. Then we have a zirconium clip, a zirconium pivot collar, zirconium thumb studs, and a zirconium floating back spacer. Very, very cool. And the whole build on this thing is really strong. You can really feel the strength in this knife. The thumb studs are awesome. Like, you get great purchase on them. Let's zoom into them really quick so you can really see what I'm talking about. So it's got this stair step right there that really grips your finger really good for a real nice authoritative thwack. You get great placement either on the middle finger flick. Oh, there it goes. There was the noise. But you get a great thwack on the middle finger flick and on the thumb flick. They both work incredibly. The blade is, I guess you'd call it a drop point, kind of like a mohawk drop point. It does have a hollow ground blade, and it gets nice and thin down here at the edge. And then up here is also a hollowed spine. which kind of gives it kind of a mohawk up on top. I think it looks cool. And then you got this placement right there for your thumb to really get into. So instead of jimping, they just give you a place. So you're really not going to slip forward. There's the stop pin, as you can see, in the close position. So you can really hear when it snaps in, the locks up there, and when the D10 hits, you can hear it also hitting the backspacer. It's kind of cool. Okay, so titanium liners, like I said, easy access to the lock bar. I know it looks like it's straight across right here because it is, but they actually give you plenty of room to unlock it. And then the detent ball is real early, so, and you can also push past it real easily. Right there, see it? You can see the detent track. So the detent track makes it where you can push past it real easy, and it's also very smooth. It is on bearings. I don't know if I can get it to come up on the camera, but it's on bearings in there. The sound of this thing is so nice. The centering is so perfect, and everything is so tightly fit. Really look how tight that is in there. It's so tightly fit. Everything is just lined up real nice. The zirconium backspacer does provide a little bit of like grip on your palm. Not much, because it's really not like, you know, sticking out like crazy, but it does have a texture on it. Sounds like Kara's home. But the ergos are amazing. It kind of almost feels like you're hanging on to I'm not going to say a Griptilian, but it has the really good ergos kind of like that. It's not like a Griptilian though, but it does have fantastic ergos. You really lock in because of the thickness and the depth. You know, it gives you a neutral grip, which I really like. But then on top of it, it's nice and thick, so you really get to squeeze something rather than it being thin and, you know, you run out of you run out of like room to squeeze. This, you actually have something to squeeze. I like that. And you know, you can really get a lot of good purchases on it for grips. And the blade shape is just like great for EDC. You got a nice belly for slicing. You got a nice flat spot right there for push cuts. You can get to the tip nice and easy. And you can also get right up here to the blade because you can take advantage of this spot right there. So lots of great things on here. The clip works great. It is a zirconium clip, like I said. It works great. You can see the nice big hardware. And you've also, if you notice the lack of hardware, we only have the pivot, and then you got to take apart this clip to, you know, to get to the under screws under here. And you can tell there's a screw there and right here, but you can't see it because it's covered up with the micarta. Which, by the way, the micarta is done really nice. This is the type of micarta I love. It's going to absorb the oils, but not rapidly. Like it's still, I think I heard that it was like oil, or wait, how was it? I think oil rubbed or something like that, and I don't know, smoothed out. I forget exactly how that went. Maybe Ryan can explain it down in the comments, but it makes it have a really nice texture. I like the zirconium pivot collars. It makes it look really nice. Everything blends in really nice. It just looks really good. Okay, so let's get to the edge. The edge came out real nice on, hopefully we can get it to come up. I might have to just insert some pictures, but the edge came up really nice on this CTS XHP. Me and him talked about it, and he's, you know, this is a user for him. So since it's a user, we put more of an aggressive edge on there. So it is very sharp. Very, very sharp. Very sticky. and sharpen up really good. It has a nice taper that's nice and even, where it goes from thicker right here, obviously, 'cause you see how it gets thick right there. So it goes thick, down to thin, thinner, 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 and then it slowly starts getting thicker right there. But it's nice and even on both sides. Now, originally when I got it, it had the factory, I think it was the factory edge. Yeah, it was the factory edge. And it was off from one side to the other, so we just matched it up a little bit. It looks really good. This blade is done very well. All the grinds on it, very nice. It's got a good weight too. It's not light. It's not overly heavy, but it's got a decent weight, which makes you feel like you have something to control. So there's a lot of great things here. Now, what's the bad, you're wondering? What is bad about this? So let's get into some bad. Okay, so one thing, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing because this is any knife you have with a clip. I do feel the clip a little bit in the ergos, even though the ergos are fantastic. But since I'm a human being and I control my own hands, I can always just shift. So it's not that big of a deal, but, I could see people saying, like that they feel a little bit much, just because you got that kind of sharp angle right there. Not that big of a deal. Next thing, if I zoom in here, you see the CK logo, because it's for CK Knife Works. It's very close to the edge. Eventually you're going to start cutting off the bottom of that K. I do not like that. I'd rather it just be moved up to right there. I don't like it down there. That to me it's not smart, because I'm going to sharpen that. Or it's going to be sharpened, I mean. Now, the next thing, and this is just a personal thing, but I'd rather see a bigger stop pin. I don't doubt that stop pin is just fine and will always be just fine. The lock geometry is amazing. As you can see, the lock geometry is perfect on it, but I would just rather see a bigger stop pin. I like seeing big stop pins, I think the hardware looks fantastic on this thing, but I just wish it had bigger stop pin. Now, other than that, that's really it for bad. There's so many good things on this. The best part about this knife, I'm going to say, is a threefold. One, the ergos. I know I said about that clip, but, it's kind of that thing where the ergos are so good that the clip doesn't bother me that bad, but I feel it, But I like that I have this much grip. The next thing is the action, the placement for the thumb studs, and just the detent. The detent is so good. And the next thing is, well, I'm kind of mixed here. So the grind, I love the grind. I love that, it's a wicked mean looking grind. That's also a very useful wicked mean looking grind. It's not like it's a dual grind or anything like that, but I don't like that placement right there. So I'm, it's kind of mixed feelings right there. But the sound, the fit, the finish, that's another thing. The sound on this thing is just incredible. Anyways, there you guys go. Amazing action, man. This thing's addicting to play with. It really is. All right, there you guys go. Thanks, Ryan. And great work, Matt Christensen. This is definitely great work. Peace.